how are kind of like, I know that you talk to a lot of different creators and different projects. Can you give me a better sense of kind of like, how are they feeling right now? They're probably pretty burnt out. They're probably pretty tired getting through this year, but they're still in the game. But could you help us understand, like, how are our creators doing in the space?
The ones that are still here, the ones that I call the brave ones, the survivors, and
Right.
decided not to rug their projects and not to abandon their communities, they are pretty excited because
Hmm.
when you stay for this long, you don't get discouraged. Yes, you get discouraged
Mm.
at some points when you see that your volume may be dropped, and you don't have as many trades as before. But then you know that people are waiting for you as well, for you to do
Right.
your moves. So the ones that stayed around and stick around for this long are excited for what's to come. They are not thinking, okay, I stayed here for 2 years of a bear market, and now I'm going to give up. I don't
Right.
want to do this anymore. So the ones that we've seen so far, always building, always doing their things, and then we are seeing new creators coming into the space as well, and that's great. I can say, for example, I'm really happy to see a creator that started on the XRPL. Is going to launch on Hedera now, their next collection. It's happening with us on the 15, and this is great signs because we are not dead. It's far from that. There's people still from other ecosystems that want to give Hedera a try and want to mint here, because it's exposure for them as well. And fortunately, it's not one of those situations where we only see our projects wanting to go cross chain. We also see other projects wanting to cross chain with us. So that's great.
That's a really great point. I think that that's a quality that many H barbarians share, where like, we don't have a plan B. You know, it's like, this is it. And so it does make you confident. And what you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, is I get the sense that you're saying, hey everybody, creators and projects in the NFT space are doing a lot better than you may think, because they have support that we might not see right now. That's kind of the sense that I'm getting, is that um, there is a lot of support, there is a lot of confidence. Where my mind goes now is, besides just minting projects and these different types of things, what do I do as let's say like a collector or a community member to kind of help fan the flames of the NFT space, help these creators? What are some things that I can be doing as a community member, as an H barbarian?
Absolutely. This is a great point, and it's super important for us to stay involved with the projects that we support, because sometimes people meet, they walk away a bit from the project, and then they say, "So what's new? Why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you pumping my floor
Right.
price? What's happening?" And it's really important because creators alone can't do everything. They need the support from the community. They need exposure, and that exposure comes from people helping, sharing their content. If a project does a post on X, for example, and no one from the community helps by sharing, by liking, by dropping a comment on the post to increase the visibility, that post dies there because no one else will see it. So it's really important for us, as supporters of project A, B, C, D, to check if they are posting something on X, give it a like, give it a retweet, something like that, because it's the way that we can expose our projects and our creators to the outside. Because we say, oh, but it's only Hedera folks. Yes, but how are we helping our Hedera projects reaching outside of Hedera? It's with
Right.
exposure on X. We can, for example, if you are someone that moves around Solana, Ethereum, Hedera, you can talk to your friends at Solana, at Hedera about NFTs here, instead of being a situation where we wait for projects to do everything, because we have great people in the ecosystem, but they are not superheroes and they don't
Yeah.
have the skills to do absolutely everything alone. And when we enter a project, we should set aside a bit of time to be able to help that product as well. And not only be, okay, I'm going to mint this NFT and then I'm going to wait for them to do absolutely everything without any help from me. And I'm going to sell this at 10x the price of mint because they are amazing and they did everything alone. It's not going to happen. We need to be a united front on this and help the creators, help the projects here so that they have more exposure, a lot more visibility. Others come from other ecosystems as well, because you can be someone that supports NFTs on Hedera, on Solana, on Ethereum. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, we need to be crypto maxes, not network maxes.
Gotcha. Okay, I like that. So, and you raised some really great points where there's a bit of an equation happening now where it was something I was talking about at the beginning of the show is like it's so critical right now to get as much awareness for this network as possible. But also kind of like, what are you telling people about? And I think NFTs are a great thing to tell people about. And to your point as well, a lot of people look at NFTs as kind of like investments in a way sometimes. And NFTs are really cool because you have a direct connection to the creator, to the project owner, and you have so much influence over the project. Like you can contribute to the project, you can effectively, you know, pump your own bags in a way. Like it's not like a lot of other stuff out there. So NFTs are really, really cool in that way. And then I start thinking about what you're talking about, like the larger crypto space, the larger NFT space. And it makes me think, you know, these NFT cycles, there's something that happens that kicks off an NFT cycle across the ecosystem, across these different networks. And I look at what's happening right now and I go, well, Hedera leads in technology when it comes to NFTs, but could this network spark the NFT wave of 2025? Would we have the capability of doing that? Because in the past, there have been networks our size that have done that have really kicked off a big bull run in NFTs. And I don't know, there's something that gets me excited where you look at this lull, this lack of activity, and you go, you know, what's happening over here? But then you think about it as an opportunity of like, hey, could we really do something big? Could the Hedera community really kick something off? Could we draw attention to this space? Do you think of things like that in that scale beyond just like minting and dropping within Hedera? Do you kind of think about like, how could we impact the whole crypto space? Could there be a big moment for Hedera? You know, does your mind kind of go there a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. Because you mentioned that other networks did it in the past, and of course they did. Look at Solana.
Yeah.
You have Ethereum as the major NFTs volume, and then Solana came, and
Yeah, out
they
of
became
nowhere.
one of the major NFTs volume. Exactly. So why can't we do the same? Of course we can. Here, it's a bit more than just community involvement. We need networking involvement as well.
Mm,
Because let's face it, the exposure that we can have as a community is less than the Hedera network as a network, than the entities connected to the Hedera network.
right.
So we can do this if everyone is working towards this goal. If Hedera as a network decides, yes, we need retail, we are going to embrace retail, so we are going to make sure that we support the projects there. And I'm not saying support with funds, with visibility, because here
Yes.
it's about visibility. You have the Solana network talking about NFTs all the time, and I do this comparison because it's the one that really did this recently. And I say recently, we know that it wasn't a couple of months ago, it was a couple of years
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
of course, but we have the skills. Like you said, we have the tech. We don't have failed transactions. The prices are cheap. The speed is great. People can trade an NFT, have it in their wallets like in microseconds. You just
Yeah.
need to open the wallet and it's there. So we definitely have everything in place. We also need a network to embrace
Yes.
retail, to embrace NFTs, to embrace DeFi. And then we certainly can be in a place where we create one of those major runs for us from that utilization, from NFTs, from DeFi.
It's exactly as you've been saying. We really have to do it it kind of opens it up a bit. We have to do this together, and that includes, you know, Hedera, the HBAR Foundation, all these other different organs. So that's a great point. If we have the capabilities to do something like that, it has been done before, but I think that Solana managed to do it because they had that alignment, they had that focus. So that's a really great point. And now,